Hi guys, are you a beginner on FL Studio and you don't know your way around? You're always confused, don't know what to do, and you keep acting like this guy?
Hello? Hello?
Don't worry, DBush got you. Today I'm going to show you how to become a pro on FL Studio, and I'm going to give you an overview so you can know your way around FL Studio. So come, let's dive right in. Alright guys, hello and welcome to my beginner guide on FL Studio. Initially, FL Studio is gonna look a little bit confusing, but don't worry, DBush got you. The first thing we're gonna go ahead and look at is the FL Studio interface, and this is the FL Studio interface. And I want you to know that anywhere you move your mouse around FL Studio, you're always gonna get a hint. There's a hints panel here that will tell you what each of this button or options and knobs are. And this is the file menu. If you want to open a basic project, you want to open with a template, the minimal, advanced, other performance and so on. If you want to start up with a template, so this is the panel you want to dive in. You can see there are lots of jazz, drum and bass, EDM, house, electro. If you want to use like a template to start up your project, open is when you've already worked on the project, this is where you're going to open the project. Then this is where you can save your project, save as new version, import and export. Alright, this is where you're gonna go ahead and export these stuffs. So we have the editing, whereby you can do and undo knobs and so on. We have patterns, view and so on. We have options. These options take you to where you can set up your MIDI, your audio, which is your sound card, your general files, and your file, which you can import the files that are stored in your computer and so on. Alright, so we have projects and so on. The next panel we're going to look at is the transport panel. The transport panel here is talking about your play. Then we have the stop and the record. This is where you play, this is where you can stop what you're playing. Alright, and this is where you can record your information on the DAW. Then here is your tempo, the timing of the song and so on. Here we have the metronome. You also have wait for input to start recording, so whenever you hit your piano, that is when your recording is going to start. Then here is more like a pre-count, like 1 2 3 before it starts and so on. These are the parameters you have. This is where you can change your computer keyboard to a piano. By deactivating it, you can change your computer keyboard to its default setting, that's typing and so on. This is a go-to. If you don't have a keyboard, you can activate this and it makes your computer keys a piano. Alright, okay, we're gonna go ahead and look at the song position. This shows your song position as at what position or at what time. This is your timer. Alright, basically two modes that you need to know, which is the song and the pattern mode, of which we're going to look in details. Your tempo, there are various options for your tempo. You can tap, you can set a particular timing. You can also choose a specific set time. Then you also have with the tempo tapper, you can manually tap. To set your tempo. Okay, so let's use 100. Okay, let's look at the the recording and editing panel, which is the pattern selector. FL Studio has this pattern. Let me start with this, the mixer view. This shows you your mixer. The mixer is probably where you can affect your frequencies by adding effects and so on. Here we have the piano roll. The piano roll is a place where you can edit as well as add some sounds that you basically cannot add on the channel rack. So here is the channel rack. The channel rack, you can detach it by clicking on this drop down menu and detaching. So whenever you click, it won't disappear. So the channel rack is basically a place where you load your samples, your instruments, your audio, your automation, your MIDI information. They are all stored here, and also has what's called the step sequencer. So the step sequencer is where you can input your sounds. So if I want to play a kick, by clicking on the step sequencer, you can see as I'm clicking on it, it's appearing on the piano roll. So listen, it has to be on pattern mode. You can see. So that's the information of the kick. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and look at what is called the playlists. So the playlist, here is the playlist, the first view. The playlist is also known as the arrangement window, where your patterns are arranged into a song. So this is a kick. If I play the kick like, so I'm gonna play two. That's what I will play. Two. So I want to play two. That's what I will play. Two. Beneath this place, you're gonna see a playing step. So I want to play two. So I'm going to watch this. I think around here. I think around here. Two. I'm going to watch this. This play step. I want to play a snare drum. No. Yeah. Two. I want to play two. I think the next to be here. Two. No. Two. Two. I will because this where the snare is. Two. So let me play hi-hats, like I want to do something like that. So let's go. This. So this guy over here, reads every information that occurs, in the channel rack. So at any given point, it reads the information there. Yeah. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. Yeah. So this is the stop button to stop the information that is going on. Let's look at the piano roll. There are two ways. You can either get to the piano roll by clicking here, view piano roll, or you can click on this. Now the reason for the piano roll is where you edit your MIDI. So I'll open the piano roll, and there are a few things I want to show you on the piano roll. With the piano roll, you can add extra notes that you can't normally add when using the channel rack. So you can decide to add more, like over here in the piano roll. You left click to paint a note and you right click to delete the note. The reason why the piano roll is very useful is it enables you to paint down the notes that you normally wouldn't if you were using the channel rack. Listen. Can you hear this? So that's, you know, the work of the piano roll. And the other controls that you can use, you know, the note velocity. The note velocity can be used to adjust the intensity of, you know, the heat of a sound. If you want it to hit harder, you increase the velocity, but if you want it to hit softly, you reduce the velocity. So listen. See, the lower notes, you know, tend to have a low attack. Alright, so the other knobs you can play around with, like note release, pan, you know, panning, you can pan to the right and left, you know, and so on. Pitch. Another way you can use the piano roll is by, you know, editing the pitch. Alright, so let's go to let's say the kick drum. If you want to, you can right click piano roll. So if you want to edit the pitch of the drums, you can click it. Okay, you can change the pitch of the kick, and also you can drag it down so it has what, a lower pitch range. So now let's go ahead and transfer this information to the playlist. Now the playlist, this is known as the arrangement view, alright, or the arrangement window, where your patterns are arranged to create your song. Now before doing that, remember it's good to keep your stuffs properly arranged. So one way to do that is you can rename each of this. You know, you can put it, you can rename it by right clicking, and you can rename, it's already named kick, so you can rename it kick. Okay, so you know it's a kick drum. So I can go ahead and also change the color. Okay, the color, you can use any color of your choice. Okay, and so on. Then in the arrangement view, to have this in your arrangement view, all you need to do is to cut. You can cut this track, take it to pattern 2, okay, or you can cut this kick, then click on the plus sign to add a pattern and rename it kick. Rename it what? Kick. And in this kick, you can cut the kick. You can go to your pattern 1, cut the kick, okay, then go to where your kick is and what? Paste. You can cut your kick from pattern 1, then click to add a pattern and rename this pattern as kick. Enter, then paste it here. Paste it on the playlist. Alright, so let's go back to pattern 1 where we originally started. I can click here to rename it as heart. You can click here to change the color. Select any color of your choice. Enter. Then to create this pattern 4 is going to be our hearts. Put in hearts. It also has same features as, and if you want to change your color, you can go ahead and change it here as well, and enter. Remember, we have our hearts in pattern 1, so we'll cut the heart, take it to pattern 4 where we have this heart and paste, then paste it on the playlist. Alright, so pattern 1 has this snare, So this snare can be pasted. Since it's on pattern 1, I can paste it as pattern 1. Then there's another way to rename and color this element. It's simply to click here. You can also rename here. Alright, so I'm teaching you various ways you can arrange as well as organize your playlist. So here I'm gonna call this a snare. Okay, a snare drum. So listen. The reason why you're hearing this is because this is the only pattern that is activated. So this is where we can switch from our pattern to our song mode. Your songs or your sound will be playing on the channel rack, but the channel rack is not really a place whereby we can make our song in, but rather we have to move this channel rack information to the playlist. So the playlist is where our song is going to be made. Here it's just like a color palette, whereby if you're an artist, a fine artist, this is where you mix your colors and your pattern, and you paste or draw your image in the playlist. So it's just an illustration or an instance. In the playlist we have our kick, our hat and snare, but you're not going to have those sounds except you activate the song mode. This song mode is going to change your cursor from reading the pattern mode to here. So this is the playlist. Alright, okay, the reason why I have this sound is because these sounds are from a template I used. So it came with a kick, a clap, a hat and so on. Okay, so if you want to drag sound to your DAW, the best place to go to is your file browser. This is your browser whereby you can bring in samples to your channel rack. Your samples, like I have mine, these are my samples. These are from my third-party samples, but FL Studio has its samples. You can go ahead and go to packs, and you have series of drums, cymbals, hats and so on, kicks, effects, percussions. If I want to play percussion, something like this, okay, let's say tambourine. See, when you left click on it, it makes a sound. So it gives you a preview of the sound that you want to load. So listen. See, that's what I want to do. So while it's playing, I'm going to be looking at this channel rack playing step. Then it's going to give me an idea of where to place it. So I'm going to drag this stamp to my channel rack. Okay, let me see if I have a nice sound. I think I love this, so I will use this. If you want to replace the sound, just drag it and put it in. But if you want to keep this sound, you can keep it. You can drag it and put it here. But if I want to replace this, I'll drag it on top of it. It changes the sound. So listen. I'm like cha 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 cha. You understand? Cha cha. So I'm gonna look at the playing step. I'll try to mark the points at which the songs are playing. Cha cha. Something like around here. Cha cha. I might not be correct, but just play it like close to that region. Listen. Cha. Listen. it's too early, so I'll shift it. Cha cha, it's too early. Cha cha, you can see. So cha 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 cha, that's it. Yeah, so that's it. So the next thing I'm going to do is what? I'll go ahead and route this. These numbers here shows you the numbers on the mixer track, and one way to do that is you can manually click here, drag up to select the mixer track that you want your sounds to be routed to. Okay, and this is the mixer. If I put it on track 4, it's going to be interfering with my snare, so I want to go ahead and route it to track 5. So the reason why I routed it to track 5 is because track 5 is the next available track that is free. So I'm going to go ahead and load up a VST instrument, and the VST instrument I'm going to use is an FL stock plugin. If you click here, you can see list of FL Studio instruments. I'm going to load up an instrument plugin, VST plugin, FL Studio plugin, simply by clicking here, and let's go with Muffin and see if we can play a few chords. So I'll go ahead and look for any keyboard sounds. They have tons of piano sounds. Let's see. So I'm going to try out a few chords here. So to record, I'll press the record button and I'm going to play my chords. Okay, I haven't played my chords. I have them sound like this. Yeah. So the reason why we're using the piano roll is basically to drag these notes that are not on the line to the grid, like this. Yeah. Okay. The next thing we're gonna go ahead and look at is some of the tools here. We have the draw tool. So this draw tool is used to paint notes in the playlist, like so. Like I mentioned earlier, to paste is to left click, while to delete is to right click. Okay, next is the paint tool. So the paint tool is used to paint patterns like this. So if you just want a fast paint on the playlist, that is the go-to. Then the next one is the delete tool. This works similarly to delete. So once you paint, you can use the delete tool to delete. Then here we have the mute tool. The mute tool will mute any pattern of your choice without deleting the elements. So this is called the sleep tool. The sleep tool is usually used to move the elements, the elements of your pattern without necessarily moving the pattern itself. The slice tool, this is used to cut your audio, of which I will explain in subsequent videos on how to use it in editing vocals. Then this tool is a selection tool. This is used to select a region on the playlist that you want to affect. Then the zoom tool, you can use to zoom in and zoom out. So the playback tool, this is used to listen to a particular section of the playlist. All right, anywhere you click, that is where it's gonna listen to. Okay, so we have the pause and play and so on. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to keep your projects arranged. So one of the ways to arrange them is by renaming. So on the playlist, we can click rename as kick, then rename this as heart. Okay, then this, you can rename this as snare. Remember, you can also apply your colors. Okay, you can choose any random color. Let's use blue. Then this, let me just change the color. You have to keep your DAW organized always. These elements that are played, if you want to use those elements, you know, to paste in your playlist, you can click them here and paste. This is the kick. These are hearts. You can click here and paste. It's simple and easy. To save your work, you want to go ahead and use the file menu. Go to save as. If you want to save as a new copy, you go to save as. Then you can use save if the project has already been saved before. But save as is going to, you know, a request for a file location whereby you can save your project into. I want to go ahead and save it as FL complete beginner course. FL complete beginner course. Okay, save that. If you want to export, you go to export. You can either export as MP3 or waves. So I'm going to make a separate video that will give you the proper settings for exporting. Usually it's going to ask you where to export. You're going to select and you'll have this this dialog box. But yeah, I'm going to give you a video that will enable you set this properly, how to export properly on FL Studio. So do well to like and subscribe to our YouTube video so it can you know, encourage me to do more. Whatever video you want me to do, just drop your message in the comment section below. I will do my best to get that video to you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. DBush loves you all, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
DBush and producer. Producer. DBush and producer.